now we're going to be seeing how to do some pockets. And we're going to start with two rectangular pockets. Those rectangular pockets are these two, we've been calling them rovels, rectangular ovals. And these two rovels are symmetric, so they are on equal distances from the center point. And they are semicircular at the very end. And then if you look, they're 0.78 inches wide. They start 0.67 inches from the center point, and they end 1.45 inches from the center point. I'm going to show you how to model those up in the conversational tabs, and we're going to save those toolpaths. Then we're going to, I'm going to let you determine how to model the two circular pockets in the center of the part. And then all the while you're going to be taking screenshots of the actual parts that you have created there. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump back over to Tormach or over to PathPilot Hub here, and this is the Pocket tab on the conversational screen. Things that we have here, we're still in G54, we're using tool number 4, 10,000 RPM, 60 inches per minute, Z feed rate of 13.5, and a clearance height of 0.5 inches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to model the left oval or roval first. So I'm going to do roval L as my title for this. And so what we're going to do is we're going to start putting in some values here. However, I do want to just remind you that before you go to do this kind of thing, if you have just started up PathPilot Hub, okay, so let's take a look at this conversational page. We're going to do this first left roval, and really setting up a pocket is a pretty easy thing. We have our larger piece of material that's indicated here in dark purple. Understand that that doesn't necessarily represent the exact size and shape of our piece. That's just for example purposes. But where is the X start? The X start, so the left-hand side of our pocket, would be all the way over here, and remember it's mirror image, so that would be negative 1.45 from our 0 point here, which would be the center of our workpiece right here in the top view. So negative 1.45, and then the X end would be 0.67. So let's jump back over. So this would be negative 1.45, and then X end would be negative 0.67. What's the radius of the corners on there? Well, if we go back and we look at our print, we can see that yes, this is 0.19 inches above and below our midline, and so that means that that radius, if that's a perfect semicircle, is also 0.19. So 0.19 for our radius, and all told, that's going to be 0.19 above and 0.19 below that x-axis in the y direction. So our radius is 0.19, our y start is 0.19, and our y end is negative 0.19. Okay, so now we're going to talk about our depths of cut and where we want this thing to be. The Z start, again, remember, we've already decked off, or we've already removed 0.05 from the top of this, so this is actually going to start at negative 0.05. Where do we want it to end up at? Well, we're going to treat this much like the profile that we did previously, and we're not only going to have it go further 0.25, but we're going to add just a tad more, and we're going to have this go negative 0.31. So what is my depth of cut? Well, I can take that whole depth of cut in one pass, so that's going to be 0.26. And I'm going to press enter now. Last thing we have here is our step over. If you refer back to your tool data table, tool number 4, it says that if you were cutting at a depth of 0.6 inches, that you would have a radial depth of cut. You could have a radial depth of cut up to 0.0275. Yeah, we're cutting about half that, so we can have a little bit more of a radial depth of cut. Nevertheless, it doesn't hurt to go a little bit easy on the tool. So maybe what we want to do is just leave it at that 0.0275, and we should be pretty happy with what we have there. Everything looks pretty good. To me, it all makes sense. What I'm going to do is I'm going to hit post to file, and we post it to file. We want to make sure that we go into our virtual path pilot and into our bearing plate. And actually, I've already done this one, but I'm just going to overwrite this, and I'm going to say save. Okay, and so at this point, this is where you would want to maybe change to that isometric view and then print screen. And you're going to go then to your Google Sheet or your Google document that you had created before. And that's this one here. Paste that sucker in there. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm just going to type in Roval R for this next one. And I'm all ready to go. As you're going to see, making the other Roval is super easy. Basically, all we're doing is we're going to flip our x coordinates. So this is going to be a positive 0.67, and this is going to be a positive 1.45 because they're on the same marks, just in an opposite order, and they're on the positive side there of the axis. So press enter, and let's change our title up here. That would be Roval right. Post to file. So we've got our toolpath there. We have 2 more pockets to go, and these are the ones I'm going to leave up to you to do, and you can call them whatever you wish. Let's take a look at how to do these pockets. The ones that we're talking about are actually this shallow, and by shallow I mean it is 0.1 inches deep, but it is a 1.103 diameter pocket. And then below that you have another pocket, and that pocket actually goes all the way through, and that one is 0.65 inches in diameter. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those 2 diameters and their depths and everything, and we're going to transfer that over into a circular toolpath or a circular pocket. So if we look here at the pocket tool tab here, over here on the right, instead of rectangular, we're going to select circular, and lo and behold, it is dramatically different. So a lot of this will be pretty straightforward though. You can use similar step overs to what we've been using. You got to figure out your depth of cut and your Z start and your Z end, and you got to figure out the pocket diameter. Honestly, I truly expect that you could do that. Of course, change the name and make sure you save it right, and then screenshot that isometric view. However, here is the one thing that is kind of weird about doing circular pockets. The one thing that's weird is, where is the center of this pocket? Well, it says X, that's from the drill table, and Y, that's from the drill table. So what we have to do is we have to actually click on the drill and tap menu, and we would have to put in the coordinates of these 2 circular pockets. Now, actually, they both share the same center, and that center should be pretty easy for you to figure out. But you've got to put in the X and Y coordinate of that, and then when you go to set up your pocket, PathPilot will know to look at that drill and tap table, so it places that pocket in the same place. Here's where we are on our part right now. We have done 3 operations. That would be drilling the clearance holes, and then we switched over to a 1/4 inch 3-flute end mill. With that 3-flute end mill, we faced it. You can see we have a nice surface finish on the top here. Then we made a profile around the perimeter with a 0.1 inch radius on the end. Our next step is to make a slot over here and a slot over here using our entry points that we've made already. I've already set that up. Again, I've already checked everything. I'm going to hit cycle start. It's spiraling down into the workpiece. So it's machining out either side of the pocket right now. Once it's done machining both sides of that pocket, one of the things that it's going to do is it's actually going to do a profile around the outside. So you'll see it stop here once it finishes this side of the pocket, and it'll raise up and it'll come back down. It's going to do that right now, and it'll zip around the outside, making a nice smooth wall on this pocket. And that's it. Okay, here we are about to start the large pocket that goes right in the middle. It's about 1.103 inches in diameter. Still using that 1/4 inch end mill. I'm going to hit cycle start now. Alright, there it is. One more operation. That's to make the hole that goes right down through the middle. I'm going to hit cycle start.